Now, how did you come by a name Lizzie? That's a girl's name, isn't it?
Well, I see. Now that's for further than I can get back. When I see when I was born, that's what my parents gave me. Mm-hmm. When I got old enough to know, when they called Lizzie, they was talking, they tell me come in Lizzie. Mm-hmm. But don't know why they give me that name. Who was the doctor waiting on my mother, and he told her about what I was or nothing. Mm-hmm. They ain't never told me nothing.
Never told you anything about it?
Nothing at all.
Well, has this led to any confusion on your part?
It sure did, Doc. You asked me something nasty easy. I'll tell you the reason why. It's a cause for everything. When down home, well, them doctors I go to, they would call me she, Lizzie. She said, but maybe he be talking, to each other, Lizzie. She said, but when I come up here, all the doctors say he. Well, that'll make anybody feel confused. Mm-hmm. Now that gives me, that's the reason I stays nervous kind of. Been all time 52 years, you must say, she, and that's a few months he.
Mm-hmm. And they say he here or she here?
They say he here.
Well, now, how do you feel about it?
Doctor got me now this way. I don't know how they feel about it.
Well, when you were growing up, how did tell me about your courting life?
Well, I never did court it very much, but when I was a certain age, the boys would talk to me. Mm-hmm. Yes, but when I got up, let's say grown, I just never would court. I just quit. See, when I was, say, 12 or 13 or maybe 14, the boys would talk to me. Mm-hmm. But when I got up, say, grown, I never did talk to no, did talk to them. I always mostly was alone.
Mostly lived alone?
Alone, yes. That's most of my life, I was alone.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to go anywhere, I would go by myself. Mm-hmm. I had some sisters and brothers. Well, my brothers was young. I got 2 sisters was older than I is. But one died, after she got in a teen. Well, she come to the Universal Hospital. I think it used to be another place way back. Your name, Carrie Jefferson. She come up to the Universal Hospital. She died. While my other sister, she was right smart, older than I was. Mm-hmm. But now the rest of them was young, coming up cold and good. Well, I wouldn't go nowhere with them. Mm-hmm. If I happen to tuck a notion and go somewhere, I go by myself.
Well, go back and tell me something about your early family life. How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have 2 brothers living and 1 dead. I have my sister in Jackson, 1 in Memphis, and 1 in West Carson. I got 4 sisters living and 2 brothers.
Mm-hmm. And how many sisters and brothers dead?
I got 1 sister dead and 1 brother dead. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
So that makes 8, and you were 9. There were 9 children in your family.
That would make 9.
Well, any of the other members of the family kind of in doubt about whether they were Lizzie, he, or she?
No, sir. They was all straight.
All straight.
They all married off.
Mm-hmm. And you never did marry?
No, sir.
And you never did consider marrying?
No, sir.
And you didn't court after you were 12?
No, well, that's after I was 12 or 13, I quit.
Mm-hmm.
I just quit courting. When a person get a certain age, a different feelings that come on.
Mm-hmm. You did go out with girls when you were up until you were 12?
Oh, no, sir.
You never
did. Well, way on. I was about 20-some years old, and there was a lady from Louisiana. She used to know people like me, mm-hmm. and she fooled with me when she died.
Mm-hmm. Well, in what way did she fool with you?
She fooled me in a woman way.
And she was a woman?
Oh, yes. And she had some children.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Well, they was a nut. She come from Louisiana. Them Louisiana folks were used to, people like me, but where I was raised at, I was raised in Columbia. Mm-hmm. A person, but when it did come to be grown, it then was just, I just stayed alone. Well, I come to fooling with her nothing. Well, she was from Louisiana. I fooled her a long time. Long to let I reckon I was operated on. But she come to be her head on, thank good. Well, she stayed where one place and I stayed or nothing.
Did anybody ever live with you?
Oh, you talking in the house as a woman? No, sir.
You just go back and forth to see her?
Yes, that's every now and then. That's like, it was maybe since Christmas, since I fooled anybody. Well, now it might, before I could eat much, let's say that feeling come back on me again. It might be next spring, and then it might be in the morning. Let's say that's regular, like I see some men, be out. I've been out with men where they would say, go with this woman now, and we get in the car, go to the next bitch out, they could go with another. But I never could do.
You never have been with men, no?
Oh, you fool with me? No, sir.
No, never fooled with men.
No, sir.
When you were growing up, after you say this didn't make much difference until you were about 12 years old, did the other boys or the girls make fun of you after that?
No, sir. They never did know the difference.
They didn't know the difference?
No, they never would put me in turn. All us had on us dresses and us hair fixed and all. And they never did, they made the difference. Well, now all the girls where I was raised with down around in my country where I stay. But they always call me she. Love. That's why they call me love. That's what they call me down there, love. But they ain't look like they never thought nothing. They done up and married. I heard one say she married, she alive. After she learned that I had food with somebody else. But she left. But she always, come to us house and stay with us, sleep with me. And I never would, try to do nothing. And so since she got grown and some children, and she was telling some moms, they say love different. So I ain't never know no difference in love. I always slept with me when I used to go stay with, how girls go and stay with other girls. She was in her teens, I reckon, 15 or 16. But they come out, I don't know how to say country busy, small family, no beds where a heap of children. Well, they sleep with me. When I stay off to people's houses, just like if they had daughters, just like I stay there while they're saying they daughters. Well, I go to bed with their daughters. Well, I always, maybe if I turn over, I how I fall turn over in the night, and I wake up. If they be turn over next to me, I just turn over just that quick. This time I wake up, I just turn over from them. Well, they ain't never know nothing.
You tried to keep it from them?
All the time. I just kept it from them. That's none of them women's down there. All while I was coming up, they never did made a bit more different than me and my other sisters by sleeping with their daughters.
And you wore a dress. When did you quit wearing a dress?
Well, I wears a dress to church.
Have you had relations with women?
Yes, sir.
You
way
have?
Back. Yes,
way back?
Yes, way
this
back.
Girl from Louisiana, you had relations with her?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any children?
No, sir.
You don't have any children?
No, sir.
Would you rather be Lizzie he or Lizzie she?
It done been so long. There done so many doctors ask me that. And that's for me to make you honest. I just naturally wouldn't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Well, let's go back. You go to church every Sunday?
Every first Sunday in my church when I was able. I've been sick. But when I was going, well, I went every church day. My church day.
Are you a Baptist?
Yes.
You a Baptist?
Yes.
How old was you when you got religion?
I joined the church a long time.
Did you join the church? How long were you on the mourner's bench?
I wasn't that many days because I went on and joined. I stayed in the church several years before I got religion. But after then, I come just praying to that effect. Like my mind, come just getting so confused. That I prayed one day, I asked the Lord to take me. I said, look like I'm different from anybody else. Look like I'm being laughed at. I said, take me. Well, it just worried me so till I began to study about it so hard till a voice spoke to me one day. And I wouldn't tell no lie. They just said I was going to be hung. The voice said just like this. So you got much right in this world as anybody else. But ever since then, I've been, going on. Before then, before I started praying, I'd been joining the church, but religion and joining the church is a heap of different. Yeah, I began to get connect with Jesus.
Did that help you some in your loneliness that you?
Oh, you talking after it say yes, sir. I reckon it did. I believe I would have went crazy. I'd even went and bought me some shares to kill my own self. But the Lord, this I would say was the Lord. That's kept me from him. I went and bought me 6 shares. I didn't even locate a place to kill myself. Boy, too.
This girl that lived with you from Louisiana, why did she leave you?
She didn't live with me.
Oh,
she was a woman. She was a married woman.
Oh.
She died.
Was she slipping around and seeing you?
Yes.
Yes. And her husband didn't have knowledge of this?
No, so see, where I was, didn't nobody know nothing. They couldn't tell the difference until they woke up things. The boys got to going back and forth overseas, and they could see so many more. They told me to come back so many different makeup people.
How did this woman that you were going with find out you were a man?
Well, she could just look at me and tell. Nobody else hadn't paid me no attention. She come from Louisiana. She be sitting around, sometimes working me out. There's no walk on off. She that's easing up to me how long she knows. I reckon I say I need somebody.
Did it bother you to be in the company of women?
Just be talking with? No, sir. But let's say when I see we was on that truck and it was cold and we was all that's squashed up that's like that on the tongue all truck.
And it bothered you when you crowd up with it?
It got warm and that truck jolting like that. I said, good gracious, I got one of about half fit.
Something come over you?
Yeah, that's like that. I know that to say that wouldn't do. I had to
well, did you enjoy it or were you afraid of it?
Well, I didn't enjoy it. The sitting there from, say, 5 or 10 miles to study something. I could have personally enjoyed something like that. I quit, then I quit and come just cutting paperwood.
Have you usually avoided women, stayed away from women?
All my days.
For this account?
Yes.
Because it disturbed you?
Yes, when I was young, coming up like that, but since I got old enough and been operated on, I don't stay away from my that's sit down and talk, but I just I know how to treat I know how to meet all women.
They don't bother you now like they used to?
They don't bother me at all. Now I've been more than sitting down talking to you now with them. My daddy promised me after my mother died and after all our married. He said, well, I said, love, see why nothing. He said, well, love, so I'm going to take care of you the best I can and be with you long as I live. But he never say why or nothing like that.
Do you think then, you don't think this was a difference your daddy showed to you and between you and the other kids?
But saying that. But see, after all I was married, I wasn't nobody home but me. After all I done married and gone, he told me that. He said, I'm going to take care of you long as I live and be able to do anything. So I'm going to be wherever you be at. But now see, that's why he just told me that. Now that's all the rest of them was gone. Well, after he said that, I figured I'm mad, and that's because the way I was made.
When you were little growing up, you grew up on a farm, didn't you?
Yes.
Did you plow then?
Yeah. So when I got big enough.
Did the other girls in the family plow?
No, sir.
You were the only one of the girls that plowed.
Yes. So see, now my oldest sister, she was gone. She wasn't home when I started plowing. She left home right like I started plowing. Well, my next oldest sister, she was sickly kind of. She always had been sickly kind of. Well, see, that put me the next. I come just plowing all the time. Plowing right on up to the one next to me. But see, she would hoe. She would hoe all the time.
Well, you didn't think then they were making a difference in letting you plow and the rest of the girls chop. You just figured they were short a plow hand and it failed your job.
And they just won't apply the main thing. That's try the rest of them wasn't trying to learn. Every time my dad stopped the plow to go to the house, I'd slip out there and make a round for him.
And did you play ball with the boys or?
No, I never did play ball.
How about playing with the kids at school and whatnot?
Yeah, sometimes I play with them when I want. Most time I just get my little bucket, what I had, my little nothing going on up. And if we know it's a country school, I might go up there in the woods and eat and might sit down there to the bed, right? That's kind of one for notion out there.
How far did you go in school?
I didn't, I didn't get nowhere. That's a grade or two.
Did you learn to read and write?
No, sir.
You can't write now?
No, sir.
Nor read?
No. I got looking and it's daily different, but I never, made no different. I know it. I always stayed out of the way.